This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone. Good morning. Good morning everyone. Welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So we will wait for 2 more minutes for others to join and then we will start our demo session. So we will give a couple of minutes for others to join and then we'll start our session, guys. Thank you. Once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to Isha Training Solutions. Today we gathered here for the JMeter demo session. So myself, Saravanan, I'm going to take you through this entire journey of JMeter tool learning. So first of all, I'll set the expectation. We are here to learn the open source performance testing tool called JMeter. Yes, here we have mixture of people. There are people, there are learners who actually already working in LoadRunner side. They are trying to move to this tool side, or there are freshers who wanted to learn performance testing tool, or there are non-IT friends, those who wanted to move to IT side by learning this tool. Yes, it is a forum for everyone because we are going to learn this tool from the scratch. It is not about you should have a fundamental already existing performance testing tool knowledge. No, not like that. We are going to start this learning, JMeter performance testing tool learning. Everybody can learn it. That with that understanding, we are going to learn this tool. So without wasting further time, I'm going to explain the course content that we are going to cover as part of this learning. And I encourage each and every one of you, please ask your question. That is very important because we are here to learn the tool. Okay, it is not about what others will think, whether this question is a good question or bad question. It may be a silly question. Don't think anything like that because we are here to learn the tool and we are paying. Okay, I mean, we are going to pay for whatever the learning that we are going to have it. So you need to get the justification for whatever you are doing. Okay, so please ask your question, get the clarity, don't go to any assumption mode. You have to clearly understand the concept and then only you have to go to the next topic. So please ask your question. That is very, very important. So we'll go to the course content. Okay, so first of all, JMeter open source tool. Open source means what? It is free of cost, right? It's free of cost. So LoadRunner, NeoLoad and all, it is all commercial tool owned by the vendor. You need to pay money for the license and then you have to use it for your performance testing activity. But in the case of JMeter, everything is free. Only thing is you are going to prepare the script, execute it in so and so environment. So that is the reason nowadays the trend is actually shifting. The trend is actually shifting towards Apache JMeter tool. If you go before like 7 years or 8 years before, people always say like LoadRunner, 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 like that everybody used to say. But now the trend is actually changing. Most of the customer, they are trying to use JMeter tool only. Okay, just a minute. Am I audible, guys? Am I audible?
Yes.
Loud and clear, right?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir,
Keshav,
you are
can you?
audible.
Yeah, Keshav, can you rejoin one more time? Sometimes it will be a technical problem, so you rejoin one more time, Keshav. Thank you. Yeah. So now the trend is actually shifted towards the JMeter now, because in those days people used to say whether JMeter is secure or what. With the JMeter you can run a large volume performance testing or what. JMeter is having a good reporting feature or what, like that. They used to say a lot of things. They used to say a lot of reasons for not using the JMeter tool. But now the story is different. The story is different. Keshav, that's what I'm saying, Keshav. You can rejoin one more time. Looks like others are able to hear clearly, so you can rejoin one more time, Keshav. Yeah. So now JMeter tool overcome all those problem statements. What are all the problem statements? The security side, reporting side, large volume performance testing side, all those things they overcome. That is the reason nowadays every customer, they are preferring to use JMeter tool only. Okay, so now you know the trend is totally changed. If you go and talk to a customer, say like we are going to do a performance testing, their first ask is whether our application is compatible with JMeter or what. I don't want to pay much cost for only license itself. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay much cost for license itself. I want to have a free tool. I can pay for service cost. I mean, the person who is going to work on the tool, right? For them, I can pay for it, but I don't want to pay special cost for the tool. That is what the intention from the customer nowadays. Okay, that's the reason every customer is actually shifted towards JMeter tool. JMeter. Okay, if you go for any interview nowadays, guys, okay, if you are going for any interview, the interview opening for JMeter also increased a lot of opening. If you, for now, if you are asking me, you know, if you know a basic JMeter with so and so knowledge, you can easily get the job. That's how the industry is actually moving towards that too. During this pandemic situation, a lot of job openings are there for JMeter performance testing tool.
Hi,
So
hello.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, sorry to just I joined. There was a audio issue. Okay, so just I joined.
Okay. Yeah, it should. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so which means that the job descriptions, if you go and read the job descriptions nowadays, you know, definitely open source tool JMeter is there in the list. Okay, that's how we are getting the importance of JMeter tool, and we are going to learn that as well. Okay, so with that understanding, we'll see the course content. I wanted to put the understanding with you people. Here we are going to learn the tool with the practical example, hands-on experience, and I'm going to share my knowledge and experience with you people. And also what we are going to do, we are going to cover the interview aspect as well. Okay, what are all the questions will come in interview, how people will ask you, what are all the different twisted questions they will ask you, like that we are going to cover that as well in the course journey. Because what is happening, you know, those who are learning this JMeter tool, after completing this session, you know, they are going for interviews. So many learners, what they are asking me, sir, why don't you cover the interview questions as well? So in that understanding, I'm going to cover the interview questions also along with our learning. We are going to learn the interview questions as well. Okay, so we are going to have a learning of this tool with the practical example, hands-on experience, and then interview preparations as well. Okay, along with that, in this course content, I added one more APM tool concept also. APM tool, application performance monitoring tool concept also. If you scroll down, you can see that as well. You can see JMeter integration with the Dynatrace, JMeter integration with AppDynamics is also there. So I wanted to bring that flavor as well, so it is part of our course content. Okay, now we will start our discussion about our course content. Again, I'm saying there is a question in the, so it's actually 25 hours, Siri. 25 hours duration is 25 hours, every day 1 hour, every day 1 hour. Okay, you're welcome. So introduction. So you are going to see the JMeter introduction part, I mean, definitely I'm going to explain like how this journey started, how you are going to start your learning. That introduction part we will cover, and then JMeter installation. I mean, it's not a, very tough installation and all. It's just a batch file execution only. So I'm going to explain like go to their official website, download the version, and then you are going to run it, right? So that we are going to explain. And then JMeter is a Java tool. It's basically running on Java. Okay, it's a Java tool running on Java. So what I am going to explain, I'm going to explain how to set up your Java home and path, because that is very important. If your Java is not configured properly, okay, if the Java is not properly configured, that time your JMeter will not work. Okay, so that is the reason I'm going to explain how to set up the Java home and the path as well. So usually what you can do, you can go to the command window, command prompt, and then you can type Java space -version. If you click enter, you have to see the version of the Java JDK that is available in your machine. Okay, Java JDK available in your machine. Okay, so or sometimes people will check like this, Java C-version, which is a compiled version of the Java. So either way you can check it. But provided if you are not setting the Java home and path properly, this will not work at all. So for that reason only, we are going to learn how to set up the Java home and path. How to set up. That also we are going to learn this. And then how to set up the HTTP proxy server configuration. HTTP proxy server configuration in JMeter. I mean, your JMeter and your browser should communicate, right? Your browser and your JMeter should communicate. How that communication is basically working, that is what we are going to do it in the HTTP proxy server configuration. And then how to set up your browser proxy configuration. In browser, you have to set the proxy, manual proxy, then only the communication will work. That also we are going to discuss. And then I will show you a basic JMeter script recording. Basic, you need to learn Java. No, not required, Rami Reddy. So fundamental understanding, certain Google knowledge, that is actually more than sufficient. You don't want to be a super guru in Java and all. That is not required at all. Okay, very basic things are enough for doing your scripting, because in JMeter it is actually record and playback. While doing that, there may be a very few instances you need small one-liner, two-liner code maybe. Other than that, you don't require a extensive knowledge about scripting and all. Okay, which is not actually required. Very rarely you are going to use that capability. Other than that, it is not required at all. Okay, so this is about introduction part. In introduction part, this is what we are going to do. We are going to learn installation, configuration, proxy configuration, how to record a basic flow. That is what we are going to discuss in the introduction part. In the introduction part, we are going to discuss about these things. Yes, once we get the introduction of the JMeter tool, what we are going to do? We are going to the component level understanding. In JMeter, there is a component level understanding. What is that? So maybe I'll quickly launch the JMeter. Okay, I'll quickly launch the JMeter. Give me a second. So don't worry how to launch it. What are all the steps that you have to follow? All these things we are going to discuss in the regular session. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a fundamental understanding. Okay, that's the reason I'm launching the JMeter. But in our regular session, I will show you what the prerequisite you have to follow, how to launch the JMeter, what are all the different ways you can launch the JMeter, how you are going to add the sub menus and everything. We are going to discuss in the regular session. Right now, for the demo purpose, I'm launching this tool. I'm going to explain small examples. Okay, is API performance QA same as web performance QA? It is about API in the sense like nowadays they are using this word API across the places, Kamal. Okay, but actually saying API can be anything. It may be web services, REST services. In certain instances, they are using the web application also. They are using the word API, but typically, if you say it is actually web services, REST services, performance testing, which is actually part of our course journey. You can, if I scroll down, you can see web services execution, REST services execution is there in the course content. We can learn that as well, Kamal. Okay. Yeah. So I launched the JMeter tool right now. By default, JMeter tool will be launched with the test plan menu. Test plan. This is the only thing will be there. Okay, test plan. Under the test plan only, every activity that we are going to do. There is a, if you click add, these are the sub menus. I mean threads, config element, listener, timer, pre-processor, post-processor, like that. There are menus are there. Everything we are going to learn using this course content. If you look at it, everything is there. You can see I added thread group separately, sampler separately, controller separately, like that. There are course content that are there. Say like if I add thread group, what is thread group? What is thread group? So I am preparing a script for so and so activity. Say like in a retail based application, I'm preparing a order scenario. Okay, I'm going to complete one order. Okay, I completed one order. I prepared the script. What will you do, guys, during the load testing time? You are going to run the same script with the different user load, right? With the different user load condition, you are going to execute the test, right? How will you do that? Using the thread group only. Thread group is the one using which you are going to run the load test with the different load condition, with the different load condition. So whenever you are getting the opportunity to do the performance testing, okay, whenever you are getting the opportunity to do the performance testing, what will happen? They'll ask you, can you do load testing? Can you do stress testing? Can you do endurance testing? Can you do scalability testing? Can you do volume testing? Like that, they will ask you different test types. Okay, each and every test type you are going to configure in this thread group only, and then you are going to do your execution. For that purpose only this thread group is actually used. Okay, so that we are going to cover under the thread group topic. There are different thread group types are there. We are going to cover each and everything. Here also a lot of interview questions are there. We are going to cover during our regular learning. What is concurrency thread group? What is stepping thread group? What is ultimate thread group? In what way concurrency thread group and ultimate thread groups are different? What unique things that we are going to do it in ultimate thread group, like that we are going to discuss in a detailed way. In a detailed way, we are going to discuss about thread groups. We are going to discuss about thread groups. Okay, I'll take a pass here. Any question, guys, still now? Anybody have any question?
Is it a hands-on training like a...
Yeah, it's a hands-on training only. Yes.
Okay, because it's a tool, right? So okay.
Yeah, it's a hands-on training only.
So
Sir, are you saying
Anand,
thread group?
Sorry, one at a time. Yes, one at a time. Yeah.
Are you saying thread group?
Thread group. Yeah.
So, one more thing, sir. As you told that rarely we will use the coding. So as you told that it's related to JVM Java virtual machine. So if we are going to, it might be we would have to use the coding. Then we should have the basic knowledge of Java for coding purpose.
See, that's what I'm saying. It is not really required to have a extensive knowledge and all. Okay, extensive knowledge and all, it's not required. There are very basic scripting where you are going to Google, maybe you want so and so activity. If you are Googling it, you are finding a small chunk of script where you have one or two variables can be changed. Then you can use it. That kind of scripting is enough. Okay. Only thing, maybe for your question, I'll go with a little more explanation. Actually, in JMeter, you are going to record and then you are going to replay. Record and replay. Okay. If all your activities are achieved through this replay itself, you don't want to write any custom scripting at all. Okay. There are instances if your values that are not properly captured, if your values that are not properly captured, that time only you are going to do the custom scripting. Okay. You are going to use the custom scripting where your recording is not properly happened. Typical example is there is a dynamic value is there. Okay. There is a dynamic value is there. That dynamic value is not properly captured in your script. That time maybe you have to handle that situation using small code writing. But that situation and all very exceptional cases, guys. Okay, not every time, every performance testing activity, it is not going to happen. That is the reason I'm saying this kind of things are very rare. This kind of things are very rare. You don't require to learn extensive coding knowledge and all. Very corner to corner chance. If you are required to do a small custom scripting, that time you can learn that. Other than that, simple recording and replay is more than sufficient. Simple recording and replay is more than sufficient. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear it.
Yeah.
Anand here.
Yes, Anand.
Yeah. So that 25 hours is enough to cover all the things actually. So
Yes, Anand. Yes, Anand.
including
And one
hands-on
more,
also.
yeah, answer. And one more thing also I wanted to tell you, I'm not going to pressurize that 25 hours on time, exact minute we are going to complete it like that. No, it's not, there is no mandatory things and all. It may spill over to 26, 27 also. Okay.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
but our intent is very simple. You should understand the tool. There is no hard and thumb rule that we have to complete on time, complete. No, not like that. If Anand is saying like, Saran, why don't you explain the same topic one more time? Looks like I have a little doubt. In that case, I'm going to explain the same thing one more time because the ultimate goal is when you are going out of this, you should become a professional in doing this activity. Okay, you should independently work on this tool. That is the only intent. because
Okay.
we are paying here for learning the tool, and we should get the self satisfaction for whatever we pay. Okay, that is what the main intent, and I should also get the self satisfaction. Whatever I explain to you guys, you guys are able to do it independently without having any problem. That is the only intent. Okay, there is no timing constraint and all. That is what I wanted to tell you on. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
yeah, sure.
Hi, I have a question. Like morning in the group, like you have shared some videos, sample videos, like 17 videos to watch. Do we need to watch that to understand this or no need?
No, actually saying that is actually bringing the fundamental understanding. Without that, also you can still go through this. Okay, what is happening? I mean, I told you right. Like there are freshers just passed out of the college. They wanted to learn the JMeter, right? So for them, the jump. It is like jumping into the ocean without knowing the swimming. So that's the reason they wanted to have a little fundamental understanding. Okay,
Oh,
but even without that also this learning will be easily you can understand it. Okay, there is no condition that you have to watch those and then come back, but it is a value add that we are trying to as a training institute, we wanted to bring that feel good effort with you people. You should have that to feel that okay, this also I know, that also I know, right? That's the reason we wanted to share that content. If you are going through that, it's a value add, it's like additional knowledge that you are going to get it. But without that, also this course content will definitely help you to learn the things from the scratch. Okay.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, this is Kamal.
Yeah, come on.
You have already covered this question, but I'm asking one more time. I heard you said JMeter is managing huge amount of load, um, but is it like, because I heard it is not managing a huge amount of load, that's why they are moving into BlazeMeter. Is it something true or it's something kind of thing? I mean, actually, my company, they are saying like this. They're trying to recording using JMeter, then again they're moving into BlazeMeter to execute all those things. I just wanted to know how it is. I mean, you need to go ahead with JMeter or directly. I mean, why we're using this, or this is something JMeter is more enough to do that, or otherwise you need to go for the BlazeMeter. This is one question, but
See,
I'm a bit
basically,
confused on this part actually.
Yeah. BlazeMeter actually started their tool by running the JMeter script only. Okay. BlazeMeter executed JMeter script only. That's how they started their things. Okay. So still JMeter script is actually required to do it in the BlazeMeter execution, and then only they use the recording plugin and all. Okay. So initial understanding is JMeter should be required. JMeter script should be required to run it in the BlazeMeter. Only thing why people move to BlazeMeter, because JMeter, say like you are a customer, I am a performance tester who is working in JMeter. I'm asking 25 machines to you straight away. 25 machines you bring it so that I will do a performance testing. That time customer will be little struggle to bring that many machines to do the performance testing, right? But BlazeMeter is providing that kind of infrastructure. If you wanted to do a large volume performance testing, you can go to the BlazeMeter, still use the JMeter script to do the execution. In that way, only BlazeMeter become very famous. Okay. Other than that, still JMeter script is JMeter script only. You have to still use the JMeter script. Only thing, so if you wanted to get a very fascinated report, or if you wanted to have a large volume performance system to be executed in BlazeMeter, that is the reason people moved to BlazeMeter. Other than that, JMeter in an independent way you can use it. Kamal. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a minute. We got one more question also. My previous course took almost 1.5 months, and this course, no, 1.5 months, 25 days means it is not 25 days, right? Saturday, Sundays, and will come, right? Then obviously it will be like that. Yeah, clear, Meda? Meda, you're clear? Yeah. So Saturday, Sunday will come in the middle. So obviously increase another 10 to 12 days. Right? Yeah. Okay. Sure. So, and then samplers. Okay. Thread groups we are going to learn, and then samplers. What is samplers? Samplers are nothing but how the communication between two entities is actually happening. Communication. Say like web applications are communicated through HTTP sampler. Okay. So that samplers we are going to discuss in a detailed way. Say like if I right click on the thread group, add samplers are there. Okay. Samplers are there. So how the communication is actually happening. That communication related things we are going to discuss in the sampler topic. Okay. And then controllers. Controllers means what? How the sampler should execute. Okay, sampler 1, 2, 3. Example, sampler 1, 2, 3. How it has to execute in a logical way. That has to be decided by the controllers. Okay, that also we are going to discuss different logic controllers. Different logic controllers. Lot of interview questions are there in this section. In this section, lot of interview questions are there. So anyways, during our regular learning, while explaining the logic controller, I'm going to explain what are all the questions, how we have to use these different logic controllers like that. Okay. And then config elements. Config elements means what? Say like you are recording the flow, guys. Okay. You are recording the flow using the JMeter tool. Using the JMeter tool, you are recording the flow and you are trying to replay the script. While trying to replay the script in JMeter, the browser is actually missing. The browser, while recording, browser will be there. While replay, browser will not be there. Browser will not be there. Browser content will not be there. So, in order to manage the browser related concepts, in browser, what are all the things are happening? It's happening with cookies, cache, authorization, header, all those things are happening in the browser only, right? So we are trying to add that browser behavior in JMeter tool using the concept called config element. Anyways, in the regular session, I'm going to explain each and everything with example, how it is actually working, how it's actually making your script to pass if you are adding the config element. In that way, we are going to discuss this. Okay, in that way, we are going to discuss config elements. Timers. Timers means what? So I'm clicking the button here. I'm clicking the button here. I'm clicking the button here. So each and every button click that I'm doing, right? Each and every button click that I'm doing, right? In that button click, each and every button click that I'm doing, in that button click, what is actually happening? There is a time, right? Time gap I'm giving between one request to the another request. Time gap I'm giving between one request to the another request, right? That can be handled because tool is not having the intelligence to think and do the activity. So what we have to do, we have to induce that intelligence. We have to add that intelligence by adding the timers between the request. So that is actually handled by timers in JMeter. One request to another request, you wanted to maintain the time gap. That is actually handled by the timers. And then assertion. Assertion means what? I wanted to validate certain things. In my script, I wanted to validate certain things. I wanted to validate the text. I wanted to validate the size. I wanted to validate the duration. All those things I wanted to validate whether it is actually working fine or not. That is actually called as assertion. Assertion. I wanted to assert the value. I want to check the value. That is what I am doing it in the assertion. And then listeners means log. I wanted to see the log of my execution. Report. I wanted to check it in JMeter. Means I can use the listeners. And then preprocessor means what? Preprocessor. Actually, I told you just now, one of the question I answered, right? There are times, very corner to corner chance, your JMeter is not properly recording certain things. That activity, if you wanted to handle it, that activity, you can use the preprocessor. You are manually going to handle that situation. That is actually called as preprocessor. Okay. Post-processor means what? I wanted to handle the dynamic behavior of the application. So each and every application nowadays, how they are preparing their application using some dynamic nature. I mean session ID, token, authorization token, like that. Each and every application they are developing with the dynamic behavior. That dynamic behavior can be handled through post-processor. Okay, that also we are going to learn through the JMeter tool. This post-processor, we are going to achieve a concept called correlation, dynamic value handling, correlation. That also we are going to discuss in a detailed way. Okay, if you are trying to do performance testing, you should be good in post-processor. You are trying to do complete performance testing, you should be good in post-processor. So that is actually a very, very, very important topic. Okay, you should learn that in a thorough way. Okay, and then distributed load testing. I mean, how I am going to run my test from my master machine to multiple slave machine. That also we are going to explain in the distributed load testing, or you can otherwise call it as master slave execution. And then how we are executing the JMeter test in GUI mode. If you are testing the application in GUI mode, this is actually called as GUI mode, guys. Okay, this is actually called as GUI mode, which is not recommended. Okay, don't do the test in the GUI mode. Try to test the non-GUI mode only. But I'm going to explain that as well. GUI mode, I'm going to explain, and how to set up the heap setting. Okay, this is also a very important interview question. We are going to discuss that as well. Okay, what are session IDs and tokens? Siri, actually, I'll tell you. You are logging into an application. What nowadays developers are doing, they are managing a concept called session ID. Siri is login, Siri is having a separate session ID. Saravanan is login, Saravanan is having a separate session ID. Some other person is login, they are also having a separate session ID. Say like Siri is suddenly facing a problem in the application. So you are sending a mail to your developer saying like, I am facing a problem in the application. What developer will say, can you share your session ID? If you are sharing the session ID with them, they can pull the log only specific to Siri. They don't want to check the log of Saravanan. They don't want to check the log of others. They can only check the log of Siri because they have the session ID or they have the token related to Siri. That's how nowadays the code writing is actually happening. You are able to understand right now?
That means both are same, session ID and token?
Each and every application they are writing with one logic. Token is one logic, session ID is one logic, auth token is one logic, authorization token is one logic, CSR of token is one logic, XSR of token is one logic. Like that, lot of technique is there. Based on that, it is all. But I mean, the end result is they wanted to maintain the unique behavior. They wanted to maintain a secure application. These tokens and why they are bringing wanted to make their application secure. Nobody else should hack their application, or nobody else to do the DDoS attack or something like that. They wanted to maintain the unique secure behavior. That is the reason they are implementing these concepts.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. And then web services testing we are going to learn. REST services testing we are going to learn. We are going to do the Dynatrace integration. We are going to learn the AppDynamics integration. And then we are going to do a non-GUI mode of execution. That is also a very, very, very important topic we are going to learn. And then how to generate the HTML report in JMeter, how to read and understand the HTML report in JMeter. And then there is a concept called JMeter functions. JMeter functions, that also we are going to learn. And then Jenkins integration we are going to learn. And JMeter script, how you can prepare it using BlazeMeter plugin we are going to learn. And then JMeter best practices interview questions. So all these things we are going to learn as part of the course journey. As part of the JVM learning, we are going to learn this entire things. This entire things we are going to learn with a practical example. We are going to learn each and every. Any question, guys?
So Jenkins plugin means, do we need to have experience in automation, or can we do
No,
it
no.
with?
Without that also, I'm going to explain how to configure the Jenkins, how to configure your script in Jenkins, how the execution is actually happening, how the reports you are going to validate. That's how we are going to explain. It's a pipeline. Those who are working in CI/CD mode, right? Pipeline execution, for them this will be very, very useful. Okay.
Sir, I have one question. This performance CI/CD. Hello.
Yes, Kamal.
So for this performance CI/CD, do we need to learn Java as well, or I mean, or it's accepted only to do the performance testing using JMeter? I mean, how the industry is looking?
So you can learn bean shell scripting. Bean shell scripting in the sense like JavaScript only, okay? Bean shell scripting, and you can learn Groovy scripting. Which one is comfortable, you can do it. But what I'm saying, it is not really required to go to that level and all. Where there is a requirement, that level of things, if you are Google it, you can find the examples, right? That is more than sufficient. You don't want to be super guru in all those scripting language and all. That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, the application where you are working, if that application recorded, replayed fine without having any problem, then there is no need to write the custom scripting. Where corner to corner chance, if your application is actually facing a problem, that time only you require to write a custom scripting. But that and all very rarely happening. Without that also, still you can do the performance testing. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So those who want
hi sir, this is Vijay here.
Yeah, Vijay.
Yeah, thank you. You just told about timers, right? So the timers, you mean the same as the think time in the LoadRunner, right?
Yes, exactly. In JMeter, you know,
Exactly, right?
timers
Okay,
can
fine.
be in JMeter, timers can be used as a think time and also pacing, because their pacing is
okay. SMS in the load, SMS in the LoadRunner.
yeah, correct.
Okay, yeah, and I heard bean shell scripting is required for JMeter. Is it so? And what is it actually, Sarun?
That's what right now I explained, right? Very corner to corner chance. You have to achieve certain things. I mean, generating a small token or generating a small functionality, you require a bean shell scripting or Groovy scripting. But that and all very rare chances, I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, your application is unable to do certain things during the recording. During the recording, if something, say you think like this, we are doing certain activity in the browser, but that activity is not happening in the server. If it is only happening in the browser itself, there are activities will happen in the browser itself. Okay, that kind of an activity will not record any traffic in the script, because if something is happening in the server only, HTTP communication will be happening. If something is happening in the browser, no HTTP request will be there. Such kind of a browser activity you wanted to still implement in your script, some small scripting is required, right? That scenario only you are going to use Beam Shell or Groovy or anything. But that situation and all very rare, I'm saying. Very rarely it is actually happening. Most of the time, you don't require this kind of a scripting, but very corner to corner chance, you may be required to do a small scripting. But that scripting also, even it can be managed by with the help of developer or with someone's help or with the Google options, you can still achieve it. But the core functionality is record and playback. The core functionality is record and playback. That's how it's actually working. Clear, Vijay?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Definitely. Yeah. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, Vijay. Meda, the actual JMeter content when we are discussing, is there any real requirement to explain certain concepts of fundamental performance testing? Yes, I will explain that. Okay, but it is not like we will spend some initial 3 to 4 hours for performance testing fundamentals and then we'll jump into JMeter. No, it's not like that. While going through the content, there are specific word which is actually coming to fundamentals means I will cover that in a detailed way and then I go to the regular topic. That's how we usually go, Medha. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Is AppDynamics is a separate topic again, or everything is included? AppDynamics integration part we are going to cover, Vasanthi. We are going to cover AppDynamics integration part, how JMeter script traffic can be validated in AppDynamics, like that we are going to discuss. Clear, Vasanthi?
This Keshav.
Yeah, Keshav.
Sir, we are discussing performance testing lifecycle also.
No, lifecycle as such we are not discussing, but if you are going through this course journey, you will understand right from the requirement gathering till the reporting what are all the activities that you will do it in JMeter. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. So those who wanted to, yes, Anand.
I'm new to this actually JMeter. Okay, so I'm from security background. Okay, so is there any certification like for a JMeter? I mean, to have a proof to organization actually.
So actually saying there are places they are doing a certification for JMeter also, but it's not. I don't know how valid it is because usually it's an open source tool. So usually for open source, mostly people will not do the certification. But in certain places, I heard like people are doing a certification for JMeter as well. But I don't think certifications only will tell you that you are super good in tools, right? Like it is not that mandatory, but you learn the tool, that is more than sufficient.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, so when is starting actually? Starting date for this one?
Actually, today we started. Today we started. From tomorrow, regular sessions will be there.
From tomorrow, right?
Yeah, from tomorrow.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. So those who wanted to enroll for this course journey, please reach out to Kumar sir. This is Kumar sir number 8019952427 is number. Okay, 8019952427 is number. Please reach out to Kumar sir for any further information which is related to your course content, course timing, course fees. Okay, all those information if you wanted to discuss, you can discuss with Kumar sir. This is Kumar sir number 8019952427. I'll repeat again 8019952427. You can discuss with Kumar sir for any further information. This is actually a 25 plus hours of a session. 25 plus hours of a session. We are going to learn this, and this is a time slot. This is a time slot. Okay, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian time. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian time. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian time. Correspondingly in other locations. Correspondingly US location, UK location. Correspondingly in other location, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian time. Okay, so we are going to start the session from tomorrow without missing any content. If you wanted to learn things, please enroll yourself. This is Kumar sir number 8019952427. I'm copy pasting this course content in the chat as well. You guys can take it. This is the course content that we are going to learn it. 8019952427 is Kumar sir number. You can reach out to Kumar sir for any further information. From tomorrow, we are going to start this course journey. So every day, one hour we are going to do. This is a weekday session, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, we are going to learn this tool. Saturday and Sunday holiday. Monday to Friday, we are going to have it. All these sessions are recorded, and it is actually recorded. You will be getting the recorded session on a daily basis in the YouTube playlist URL. YouTube playlist URL, you will be getting it. These videos, you are going to get the lifetime access. Okay, lifetime access, you are going to get it. You can get this lifetime access. Okay, so any day if you are missing the session, you can go back, watch the video, and then come back and ask a question. So lifetime access will be there for these videos. Okay, so all artifacts, supporting documents, and everything we are going to share it through Google Drive. Okay, through the Google Drive, we will be sharing all the supporting documents and everything. So that also we are doing. So it's a 25 hours of a session, 1 hour per day, weekday session, weekend holiday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian time is the timing, and then all artifacts are shared through Google Drive. All videos are shared through YouTube playlist URL, guys. Okay. Any question? What is the best time to contact Kumar? Kumar, you can contact anytime. You can call him and you can message him. Anytime you can contact. No problem at all.
I have a question. Like, is this JMeter only for desktop, or else can we do it for mobile applications as well, like performance?
You can use for mobile application as well. It is there. You can use it
through emulators, or how can we do performance on mobile?
Through the HTTP recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Irshad.
Yeah, sir. Actually, 5 to 8 minutes session I have missed out due to audio issue. So just I want to know, sir, in a simple way, if I would like to know that what is performance testing from the perspective of a company view. Okay, so what exactly we are going to do?
Say like you are a startup guy. Okay, you are a startup guy who is actually developing a food delivery app. Okay, you are developing a food delivery app and you are going to release it in the Play Store or App Store. Okay, what is your intention would be? What is your intention would be?
Hello.
What is your intention when you are releasing this food app in the Play Store or App Store? What is your intention?
Yeah, the intention would be the customer would be able to access, able to log in.
Yeah, so multiple customers should come to your app, or multiple customers should come to your website. That is what your intention, right? So if multiple users are coming in, how your application should be? It should be fast, correct? It should be fast. If it is not fast, if it is loading slow, they will go to the another food delivery app, right? Correct or not? They'll go to the another food delivery app. And the multiple user, when they are coming in, if your application is crashed, means they will think bad about your app. Correct or not? So if your end users are coming, your application should be fast. Multiple end users are coming, your application should be fast. Your application capable enough to withstand that much of a load. All those things are involved, right? All these things are comes under performance testing. Performance testing is actually checking the load, stability. It is actually going to provide the end user with a good response time. All those things are actually focused in the performance testing activity. Clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear. One more thing, sir. One more thing. Is there any correlation between functional testing and manual testing?
Functional testing and manual testing is same only. Functional testing is functionality is working or what. Whether your food delivery, when you are submitting is order is going or what. Food is delivering or what. That is actually functionality test. That you are manually doing.
Sorry, sir. It's a performance testing. It's a performance testing. Is there any relation between performance testing and manual testing?
No. Manual testing is something that you are manually checking the application functionality is working or what. Performance testing is actually checking the speed, stability is actually working or what. Functionality testing, manual testing is a functional testing. performance testing is a non-functional testing. Okay, that is actually the name itself non-functional testing. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So those who wanted to enroll for this session, please reach out to Kumar sir. 8019952427 is number. From tomorrow, we are going to start our regular learning. Don't miss it, because we wanted to have a continuous learning with the real world example, practical knowledge sharing. So please reach out to Kumar sir for further information. Thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sir. Have a great day. Thank you.